What is up, America? Is another episode of Tuesday Night Football. I'm Richard Miniet, and guys, there's no real easy way to say this. So Kenny and I have mutually agreed that he will no longer be on the podcast. It just was affecting a lot of things, our friendship, um, our mutual respect for each other. I'm just messing around. Kenny can't be here tonight. His power is out, so everybody send their prayers. Hashtag pray for Kenny. Let's get that power going. Let's let him eat some dinner, take a shower, flush his toilet, all those things. But rest assured, we will make sure we have the episode out tonight. I have his picks and I have his sleeper picks and NFL picks. So I'll make sure I relay those to you guys. But again, he just couldn't make it tonight. I'll keep the ship going. The show must go on, and we will continue to have a great episode. Again, pray for Kenny. Hope his lights come back on. All right, let's get right into it. We got a huge week ahead of us. Week, what is this, 13, 14? I think this is week 14. No, 13. 13, 13, 13, 13, 13, 13. All right. So me and Kenny play this week. I will say that for last. So let's get into the matchups and our predictions. I'm just going to start with mine first. I can bounce around. I can bounce between. Yeah. Well, yeah. Let me just pull up games real quick. All right. Yeah. Here we go. All right. Um. So let's start with the first one. JJ versus Grant. This is a matchup of 5-7 versus 6-6. Again, this week is huge with playoff implications all across the board for everybody. Um. Grant is currently projected to win 127.56 to 124.34. Um, Grant's coming off, I believe, two losses. I'm going to take Grant in this one. I think it's going to be close. And honestly, it would be a lot cooler for the playoff scenario if Grant won and they were both 6-7. JJ's got a great team, talented team. Two is unstoppable, and he's got CMC. Um, but I think the Lions and the Chargers are both going to play better. So for that reason, I'm going to take Grant. And Kenny in this matchup, he has JJ beating Grant. So if he was here, he would say, "Oh yeah, man, I'm really going to take JJ." And then he'd say, "I respect your decision. I respect your pick. I'm going to go with JJ here." Yeah. So Kenny's got JJ beating Grant. I have Grant beating JJ. Next up, we got Jake versus Jared. Jared's on absolute tear. Seems like his team is literally unstoppable. Patty Mahomes, I think he might have traded a little bit too much with Kenny in that trade. I think he traded a lot of good pieces. It's just going to depend on how great AJ Brown is. And we all know AJ Brown is a stellar, remarkable football player. Um, Jake made the great move of picking up Baker Mayfield. That was a 2020 move. Jared is obsessed with Baker Mayfield, wants to be his best friend. Now he has to root against him in fantasy. Great move by Jake. For that reason, I'm going to take Jake in the upset. And Kenny, this is what Kenny would say. Oh, I really respect that decision, man. I'm just going to unfortunately take Jared. Yeah, Jared. He has Jared beating Jake. Um, tough game. But I like the move by Jake to pick up Baker, so I'm going to take him there. Next one, we got, let's see, the Philly specials, Mike versus Waffle House Lee. Wow. So yeah, this is Mike has a 57% chance to win this game. He's 6-6 in the 4 spot right now. Lee is 4-8, making sure, trying to battle, make sure that he's not in that Waffle House. But Lee, I love you, brother. If you go to Waffle House, I'm right there with you. Some pounding, some pancakes and waffles. Um, Lee to pick up Zach Moss. That could be huge. That could be nothing. Um, Cooper Kupp, I think he's probably going to come back and finally have at least a decent game compared to the last couple outputs he's putting up. Bijan, Devin Singletary, I'm going to have to take Mike in this one. I'm sorry, Lee. I am. Yeah, I'm truly sorry. And Kenny also has Mike beating Lee. All right. And then we got, a great matchup. The 2 spot, Nikki versus Struggle Bus Dan, who has won 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4. I don't know if you can see right there. 4 games in a row. This is going to be a close game. Dan is currently projected to win. But I am going to take Nikki in this one. I'm going to take Nikki. I think he's going to have a good week. He's going to have a good, a lot of good players playing. Raheem Mostert, it's been a machine. I have A-Chain, but I don't know. I don't know if A-Chain's going to be back to his normal self. He's going to play one snap again. I think Metcalf's going to have. I think we'll get to NFL picks later, but I think Metcalf's going to have a good game tonight. And Dan also has CeeDee Lamb. To win 5 games in a row in fantasy is hard. Nikki's a good team. I'm going to take Nick in this one. Let's bounce over to Kenny. Kenny, yeah, great pick. I'm actually going to agree with you. Nick beats Dan. Perfect. All right. Thank you, Kenny. And then final matchup, me versus Kenny. I'm going to destroy Kenny. I'm going to literally obliterate him. It's going to be a complete wipeout. He may not put up 100. Me versus Kenny. What Kenny thinks doesn't matter. He picked himself to beat me, but that's really here nor there. All right. So we went over our NFL record last episode on episode number 8. I believe this is episode number 9. We're going to get right into the NFL pick'em. Fellas, we have been hot, and I know the word around town is that people are going to be, quote unquote, I think the word is tailing our picks. Tailing? I don't know what that means. I'm not familiar with that term. But let's pick up the schedule here. Thursday Night Football, Seahawks at AT&T Stadium, taking on Jerry World Cowboys. I used to have a Zeke jersey. I'm rocking my Rondé Barber jersey right here for the Bucks. We'll talk about the Bucks later. I used to have a Cowboys jersey, a Zeke Elliott jersey. I had to return it, didn't fit right, and it was white. Could possibly get stains on it. Had to send it back. This game is super intriguing for multiple reasons. I know I say that for about every single game. I sound like a broken record, but the Cowboys have won every single home game by 20 points, and it's usually beating really bad teams. The Seahawks are, I think, a good, not bad, good, not great team. I think they're an okay, not bad, okay, not super good team. This is going to be a close game. The quote unquote spread is 9.5. I think the Seahawks will make it a very close game. The Cowboys are always usually good for a random stinker out of the middle of nowhere. I'm going to take the Seahawks. I got a feeling about the Seahawks. I don't know what it is. I think that they're going to come out spirit. I think they realize how hard their schedule is. I think they realize they're banged up. They got nothing to lose. Pete Carroll's really not one of those coaches to just lie down. They did get a little almost embarrassed on on Thanksgiving, 31-13 mini blowout by the 49ers there. I think they come back full week of rest, same with the Cowboys. But the Cowboys, when the lights are really shining and you know, now there's expectations. Last week was like a good victory, a good blowout win versus the Commanders, but now there's expectations. I'm going to take the Cowboys. Excuse me, I'm going to take the Seahawks. I do that every week. I mess up. Kenny has the Cowboys beating the Seahawks, and he would probably say something like, their offense is too good. Dak's too good. CeeDee Lamb's way too good. He also has Charbonnet in a different league, but we don't talk about different leagues. That's probably also something he would say. But Kenny has the Cowboys beating the Seahawks. All right, let's go to Foxborough Gillette Stadium, where the Chargers take on the Patriots. I so badly want to take the Patriots here, so badly, but I don't think the Chargers are actually that bad. They're bad, but they're not that bad, and I think they are definitely playing for something. I don't believe the Patriots are playing for anything. I think this is probably going to be another Patriot loss, as as unfamiliar as that sounds. I mean, we're all grew up in the Tom Brady Patriots, Patriot way, Bill Belichick. We're not used to them being horrific, like terrible. With all that being said, I do believe that the Chargers are going to come out. I know it's a long flight. I know they're only 5.5-point favorites, but I don't think that's really going to matter here. I think Justin Herbert's going to take care of business. I think Keenan Allen's going to take care of business versus a shaky Patriots secondary. And Eckler's going to have a good game eventually. So just too much overall. I like the Chargers in this one. Kenny, he's got also the Chargers beat New England. He probably would just say the Patriots suck, something like that. So no NFL team actually sucks. It's just the Patriots are not having a good year, and it's unfortunate. I never thought we'd see the day, but the day has come. So both taking the Chargers. Cardinals Steelers rematch of the Super Bowl in Tampa 2008. I have a jersey for that. Should have worn that one. This is in Acrisure Stadium in Pittsburgh. I'm going to take the Steelers, and I think it's just going to be one of those, again, Cardinals. You don't think about them playing in in Pittsburgh in the cold and sleet possibly. A December game, I don't see it. It could be a close game, but I don't think so. I think the Steelers are finding definitely a groove since Matt Canada was let go. Cardinals still got a lot of pieces, a lot of building blocks. They just released, put on waivers, Zach Ertz. That seemed like a little bit of a mutual decision, but sorry about that. I'm gonna take the Steelers in this one. Kenny has the Steelers beating Arizona. He'd probably say that he likes Kyler Murray, but they're just not there yet, and I would agree with him. Okay, Great AFC South matchup. Colts versus Titans in Tennessee. I am taking the Titans. I think Vrabel is not in his DNA to lose, to lie down, to get. They don't need. I mean, they have Will Levis, so they're not like tanking for a quarterback. I don't think they still have Derrick Henry, still have DeAndre Hopkins. Jonathan Taylor just hurt his thumb. He's going to be out for 2 weeks. Kenny has him. Sorry, bro. I like the Titans in this one. This is going to be an old school AFC South matchup. Uh, Grit and grind, in Nashville, Nissan Stadium. The Colts are coming off a win versus the Bucs. We all know about that. I think they've won. Let's see. I don't know how many games. I think they've won a couple of games in a row, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, they've won 3 games in a row. So I don't believe the Colts are going to win 4 games in a row. I like the Titans in this one. A little big. I like it by over a touchdown. Kenny he would say, I respectfully disagree with you. I'm taking the Colts. Zach Moss going to play a huge game. I used to have him. Yeah. I don't believe so. I don't believe it. This is, like I said, AFC South matchup. So he could, be right. Take the Colts. Colts could win. But I think the Titans are going to play spirit of football. But I think the Colts are going to be in the playoff hunt. Probably if they don't make it, then I think the Jaguars are still going to win the AFC South. But the Colts are going to be right in there at the end. And then when Taylor comes back, they'll be really good. But I'm going to take the Titans in this one. Broncos, Texans at NRG Stadium in Houston. Texans coming off a tough loss last week versus the Texans. Really good game. I have CJ Stroud starting. Both teams coming at 6-5. For that reason, and it's because it's at home, I'm going to take the Texans. Again, I just said it's really hard to continue to win football games that much in a row. I think the Broncos have won either 4 or 5 in a row. Eventually, the Broncos have to lose. I think the Broncos are still a very good team, but I think the Texans and DeMeco Ryan is a very good team. 2 really good head coaches going at it in this game. I'm going to take the Texans. Let's pass over to Kenny. What does he have? He has the just saw it. Texans. He's agreeing with me. Texans beating the Broncos in NRG Stadium. Good pick, Kenny. I agree with you there. Lions Saints in the Superdome. Lions going to end the discussion right there. Lions. Did I say Lions? Lions. Kenny has. Let's see if he continued to be. God, I cannot read today, man. He's got Lions too. Perfect. Enough said. If we were both here right now, we both just say Lions and move on. Falcons Jets. I like the New York Jets in this game. They have no expectations to win. Atlanta is going to New York. Atlanta does not strike me at all as a cold weather team. I think the Jets are going to bring everything out. I think Aaron Rodgers is going to be on the sidelines. He's going to be a lot more engaged knowing that his practice window is open. Saleh is, I think, coaching for his job. And I don't think he's going to get fired, but I think Robert Saleh is trying to prove to everybody that he's not a bad coach because they got embarrassed on Black Friday. This is a great spot. Both of these teams are going to be 5-7 at the end of this game. I love the Jets. Kenny, respectfully disagree. All right, thanks. He's taking the Falcons over the Jets in the Meadowlands at MetLife Stadium. Dolphins Commanders at FedEx Field in Washington. It's actually, I think, in Virginia. Dolphins, again, coming off a really good victory on the road on Black Friday. Hope to see A-Chain. He's on my team. I hope A-Chain goes off for 200 yards in this game. I think that the Commanders are really close to kind of just, people are going to start making business decisions. I mean, listen, guys in the NFL, they got to play. They're playing for jobs. But I think that the Dolphins are probably going to win this game. I think this is not going to be a blowout. I don't think. I think, the Commanders are going to show some heart. But I think that this could be Ron Rivera's last game. The steps is, if Jack Del Rio wasn't calling the defense, it would go Ron Rivera takes control of the defense, and then he fires Jack Del Rio, and then next, it would be him getting fired. So I'm going to take the Dolphins in this one, and Kenny also has the Dolphins being the Commanders. We can agree on that one for sure. Probably the primetime game this week, best game of the week, 49ers Eagles at the Bank in Philly. I love the 49ers in this game. This is a revenge game. The Eagles have had 2 emotionally draining victories. I do not see them having a third one over a tremendous 49ers team that's coming off extra rest. They played last Thursday. The Eagles are banged up from that Philly game, from that Buffalo game. I think this is probably going to be a blowout. This is going to be a 2-touchdown victory for the 49ers. They are playing the 49ers. They keep stuff in their heads. Trent Williams, Deebo Samuel, they've had comments about the Eagles. These teams do not like each other. Expect at least one fight. I'm going to take the 49ers over the Eagles. Kenny will respectfully disagree with me. He's going to take the Eagles over the 49ers. I think if he heard my soliloquy, he would say, wow, you're really convincing me right now. But he is going to take the Eagles over the 49ers. Maybe an emotional hedge because he traded A.J. Brown, so he's hoping A.J. Brown does. No, I'm sorry. That actually be the opposite. He'd be rooting for the Eagles to lose. So he's just going to take the Eagles. He's just going to take the Eagles. Browns and Rams and L.A. Rams. This is easy. The Browns have been a really good story ever since Deshaun got hurt. I think last week was a little bit more of their true colors. They look a little lost. The return of Joe Flacco. Love Joe Flacco. He's going to get destroyed by Aaron Donald if Aaron Donald gets his hands on him. The Rams are going to win this one by big, 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 big. And Kenny has the Browns beating the Rams. Okay, wow. So this is really interesting. We have almost disagreed on everything, and he's not even here. He would probably say something about how great Amari Cooper is and Kareem Hunt, and he would say that Cooper Kupp's not healthy and that Matthew Stafford still hasn't got it and they're too inconsistent. I completely disagree. I think that cross-country flight to LA is going to be on those old Flacco legs. Going to probably do a couple lunges in the aisle on the way there. Rams by a lot. Chiefs Packers Sunday night game. Ooh, this is gonna be a good game. Packers coming off a really good victory on Thanksgiving, one that I predicted on the show when I went 12-4, 12-4, 12-4. But the Chiefs have also coming off a loss, and they did not have a bye week, but they did lose. No, I'm sorry. They're coming off a win. They just beat Oakland. They just beat Las Vegas and Vegas at Allegiant Stadium. Before that, they had come off a loss to the Eagles. This will be a close game, but I think Pat Mahomes is ready to be done with losing. And I think the difference, I've been meaning to say this in the last couple episodes, Travis Kelce, I think, is definitely on the back nine of his career, probably the back six. You know, it's coming to an end soon. He's old, and it's showing a little bit this year. He's not the same player. He's not the same burst, but he can still catch the ball at a great rate. But Mahomes is like, I'm not, I have the State Farm and all that stuff, but I'm chasing 7 here. I'm chasing Brady. So he's ready to go. He's down and he's not trying, he's not cashing it in you. This is very much still a guy that wants to win. I think he's gonna man power will this team to victory here towards the end of this end of the season. I like the Packers. I like the Chiefs in this one over the Packers in Lambeau. Kenny has KC beating Green Bay. He probably agree with me. Good pick, Andy. Good pick. Bengals Jaguars on Monday Night Football. This could have been a flex, but it was too late. Yeah, this is tough, man, because I love the Bengals. I like Zach Taylor a lot. I think T. Higgins is a great receiver. I think Jamar Chase is great. I think they have a really good defense too. I also really love the Jags. I think the Jags are a super talented team. Excuse me, sorry guys. I had Chipotle earlier. Doug Pearson's a great coach, Super Bowl winning coach. I think you can tell that he's got his DNA all over this team. 8-3, almost kind of like the same trajectory that team he had first in Philly. I think the first year they won 6-10. Next year they won the Super Bowl. Let's pump the brakes on the Super Bowl talk, but the Jaguars are still a very, very good team. I'm going to take the Jags. I think they're going to have a good atmosphere at TIAA at night. At night they usually get a good crowd. Might be in the 60s Monday night. It gets colder there in Jacksonville. Very jealous of that. I wish it was colder here in Orlando and Tampa. And Kenny's also going to agree with me. He's going to take the Jags over Cincinnati. And listen, if Joe Burrow's playing, this will be a great quarterback matchup. I don't think Jake Browning's horrible, but I don't think Jake Browning is ready yet. But you never know. Listen, weird things happen on these primetime games. I had the Seahawks being the Cowboys tonight. Weird things happen. I could see the Bengals keeping this game close after losing an AFC North Division game versus the Steelers last week, but I'm going to take the Jags in this one. And then we got, of course, Bucks and Panthers. I'm not even – listen, you guys heard my rant. I don't want to – you guys hear enough of me already. I don't think you guys want to hear anymore. I'm taking the Bucks. It's a guarantee. And I'm saying this we're going to show some heart. This is going to be a hard game. We're going to show a little bit of that, huh? A little bit of that. We got to win. We're past must win. This is dire. Ring the alarm, sound the alarm. Everybody, all hands on deck. The ship is literally close to capsizing. We need to take some water out of that ship and get back on course. We got to beat the snot out of the Panthers. Literally, we have to beat the snot of the Panthers. I don't want a close game. I want a blowout. I want a throttling. I want what the Panthers did to us last year at Bank of America Stadium. I want that. I want a 28-21-3 victory. 28 or 21 points over 3 points. I want the Panthers to score no touchdowns. Give me the Bucks. Kenny also has the Bucks. Before I forget, we also got to get our sleeper picks in, our players who we believe are going to perform very well this week. This is brought to you by SoFi. Consolidate your credit. I don't know why I always say that, but it's just fun to say. I think I've seen enough commercials. And Waffle House, where either Dan or Lee and myself, I volunteer to be a friend of a friend, in need. I will be at Waffle House for I'm not sure how long, maybe not that long, but I will be there nonetheless. Kenny has Josh Downs being his sleeper pick over the on the Colts when he plays the Titans at Nissan Stadium. He believes he said, quote, Josh Downs against vulnerable Tennessee secondary. I love it. I love it. Really great in-depth analysis there. A lot of data points and everything. No, I'm kidding. That's a good pick. Josh Downs has been absolutely overperforming this year. He's been a really good player. If I had a sleeper pick this week, I think it's going to be Austin Eckler. I think it's going to be Austin Eckler or Justin Herbert. I think somebody from the Chargers is going to play. One of those two guys is going to play well. I'll say Herbert because Herbert, I think, is more of the guy who's the focal point of the offense there. I think Herbert's going to have a bounce back game versus New England. I think he played really, really bad last week, cost some people in some other leagues. I think Herbert's going to bounce back. I think he's going to play really well over there in Foxborough. I think it's going to be a springboard game for the Chargers. Maybe they can get something going, but I think Herbert's going to have a really, really good game, even with Mike Williams out. So that is all we have. Quick episode. I know my boy Kenny wishes he could be here. We're holding down the fort for him. I got his picks in. We had a nice little dialogue. We chopped it up. I hope you guys enjoy it. Have a great weekend, everyone. And most importantly, do not forget, God bless America. Go Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Beat the Panthers 5-7. Falcons are losing. Saints are losing. Panthers get eliminated with a loss. We will be first place with a win. I think probably not. Maybe tied for first place. 5-7. 5-7. 5-7. Go Bucks. Thank you guys.